Today I will bring you my Premier League predictions for the 2020 to 21 league season. So before we do get into the video, just going to put it out there that I'm going to be try and be as unbiased as possible throughout the video. Obviously, I'm going to get a few of these wrong. Well, I'm going to get most of them wrong, let's be honest. But these are all my opinions at the end of the day. And if you don't agree, then that's fine. But we can't agree on everything, shall we say. And also, before we do get into the video, make sure you do smash the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because it does help me out massively. Throughout the video, I'm just going to have some like FIFA gameplay in the background, so you don't just see my face the whole time. Well, you will, but it'll just be in a top corner somewhere, because obviously, you know, we don't want to see my face throughout the whole video. Yeah, it's just some random FIFA gameplay that I'll just have, you know, somewhere stored on my computer. Nothing good. But yeah, we're going to start off with last, and I personally think that last place will be West Brom. I believe they finished second last year in the Championship. Looking here, they've got in Matheus Pereira. I think that's like officially now. I think he was on loan last year. He's a very good player, but again, there's no one big that they have brought in, like, you know, that's gonna, you know, affect them massively, gonna keep them up. I just don't see them keep staying up, and I'm sure, Mr. Analyst, if you are somehow watching this, you won't be so sad to hear me say this, because unless they bring in some big players, they definitely need a striker. I'm pretty sure their strikers consist of Charlie Austin and Robson Kanu. Don't, you know, quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that. So they need to bring in some strikers, and I'm not overall. I don't know their overall squad, but I guess it ain't too good. So I'm gonna put them at bottom. Yeah, they have just come up, but I don't see them staying up for very long. So in 19th place we do have Fulham. They've brought in 3 players. They've brought in Mario Lemina, Harrison Reed and Anthony Robinson. Mario Lemina and Reed both from Southampton. Lemina I was surprised with, but I guess he doesn't play because Southampton they're doing very well. They did well last year, so quite surprised he's gone to Fulham. I don't see Fulham staying up very long. They did finish 4th last year, so I believe they won the playoffs and got through. So yeah, they only just about made it, so I don't see them doing very well whatsoever, because compared to some of the squads in the Premier League, I think they're just going to be another Norwich, honestly. They might do well at the start and just go off after that. We can all remember, you know, that great Norwich team at the start with Teemu Pukki, and then they just died off after that, didn't they? So I don't believe that they're going to do incredibly well this year. Again, with all of these, I could be wrong, but I just see them going straight down, in my opinion. Then, to finish off the relegation zone, I'm going to go with Aston Villa. They narrowly escaped relegation last year with 1 point, you know, between them and 18th place. Sorry, they've only bought in Matty Cash from Nottingham Forest, and I believe it was for like 16 mil or something. So they really need to be spending their money a bit wiser. They definitely need to bring in some more players. They've got a few good players like Jack Grealish, Tyrone Mings. Can't really think of anyone else they've got, if I'm honest, but they don't really impress me. Last year they were very, very, you know, sketchy. They got very lucky to stay up, in my opinion. We all know of that goal that they scored, or got, I can't remember if they scored it or if it got ruled out against them, which basically kept them in the Premier League pretty much. And we all know, you know, Roy Keane going mental at them celebrating at the end of the year. But yeah, I don't see them staying up. So that is my relegation zone: Aston Villa, Fulham and West Brom. I could be wrong here, but yeah, this is who I think is going down after their transfer window. Obviously, the transfer window hasn't finished, and it won't finish for like another month, I believe. So there could be some big signings being done by all of these teams, which could eventually keep them up. But at the time of recording, which is the 7th of September, I do not see them staying up. So in 17th place, I do have Brighton. I believe they will narrowly escape relegation. They have bought in, to be fair to them, a few decent players. So they've bought in Jensen Weir from Wigan, don't know who that is. Adam Lallana on a free, which is very, very good, because Adam Lallana on his day can be very, very good. That is coming from a Liverpool fan. Obviously, he hasn't had the game time from Klopp in the past few years, so he hasn't, you know, been able to prove himself, and he was sort of, you know, slowing down a bit. But they also have signed Joel Veltman from Ajax, and Lars Den Donker from Club Brugge. I'm not sure what the fees were and stuff for them too, but very, very two good players. You know, Den Donker, I believe, I'm sure he was at Wolves. That just could be me, but I'm sure he was at Wolves. And I believe these players will be able to keep them up. They did stay obviously last year as well. They finished in 15th place. I'm going to put him in 2 places worse because I don't believe with the teams that you know how teams have spent this year and the few teams that have come up, I don't believe they will. You know, I don't think they're going to do any better than what I've put them in. I think 17th is solid for them. I think they'll be very happy to stay another season in the Premier League. Obviously, every team would, but yeah, I don't see them doing any better than 17th place. 16th, I do have West Ham. Obviously, narrowly escaped relegation, you could say, last year. Got a few points, picked up a few points at the end of the season, finishing 16th place on 39 points, 5 points ahead of Bournemouth, who were relegated. I haven't seen anyone wait, let's have a look. They haven't brought in anyone massive. They've brought in Sujek, who was there last year, I believe, permanently, and Osama Ashley from AFC Wimbledon. A bit of controversy has been going on in the West Ham, team. They did sell Brady Diangana to West Brom, and Mark Noble, the captain of West Ham, it's been all over Twitter, him tweeting how it was a mistake for them to let him go, and apparently he's a really, really good player. So West Ham, unless they do any more signings, they've got a very good team though. They do have good players. They've got Felipe Anderson, Declan Rice, Haller, just a few to mention. Can't think of any more on the top of my head. They do have a good team. They just don't seem to play very well. I'm not sure why, because I don't watch any of the games. But yeah, I think 16th, it's alright for them. I mean, as long as they're not getting relegated, I don't see them being too upset. And yeah, that's where I'm going to put them. West Ham in 16th for me. In 15th, I do have Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is one of those teams, they've been around for quite a while, to be fair. I can't remember when they actually did, come up from the Championship. Even if they did, I'm not sure if they have. But they have brought in Eberechi Eze from QPR, which is a very good signing because I believe he apparently was very good last year for QPR. I'm going to put them in 15th place, just below West Ham. They did finish last year in 14th place, so I'm doing them one worse. But again, with the signings that are being made and the teams that have come up, I just think 15th place is where they're going to finish for me. Can't see them going. I don't see them going any lower. They might go higher, but I don't see them going any lower than 15th. So I could be wrong, with the placement, but I just don't think they'll be in the relegation zone. So moving on to the next 3 teams, sorry. We do have Newcastle 14th, Burnley 13th, Southampton in 12th. Newcastle last year did finish 13th, so I've gone one worse from last year. They haven't really, not what I can see, brought anyone massive in. They've brought in Jeff Hendrick on a free from Burnley, Mark Gillespie, I'm not sure you say that, on a free from Motherwell, and Niall Brookwell from Liverpool on a free. So no massive signings. This summer was looking very positive for Newcastle with the takeover that was about to happen, but then got just scrapped. So if that takeover would have happened, you could have seen them much higher in my predictions here. Then we have 13th Burnley. Burnley last year finished 10th, but with the lack of signings, I don't see them coming any higher than 10th again, or even higher than that. They've done 5 signings, but no one massive that's gonna that stands out sort of thing. I just don't see them competing for that top 10. I think 13th place for Burnley isn't too bad. They're one of those teams that just managed to stay up. Sean Dyche is a great manager, to be fair. He keeps them up every single year, and I don't believe this year he will fail to do that. I just don't think he'll do as well as he did last year. In 12th place, I have Southampton. Again, one place worse than last year. I didn't even notice. I've been literally put every club one place worse than last year. They have not. They have done 2 signings this year, this summer, shall I say. Kyle Walker-Peters from Tottenham and Mohamed Salisu from Real Valladolid. They have also sold, though, a lot of players. Emil Højbjerg, sorry, has gone to Tottenham. Yoshida's gone. Cedric Suarez to Arsenal. So they've lost quite a few players. So that's why I've made them a little worse. But with Danny Ings, how he was last season, I can't see them getting relegated. Especially if they do a few more signings as well in the transfer window. 12th place is very, very good for them. I'm sure they'll take it as well. So, next 5 teams, I have in 11th place Leeds. If you wonder what I'm looking at, I've just got it on my monitor here. 10th place Sheffield. 9th Leicester. 8th Everton. 7th Wolves. This was arguably my hardest decision of the video. This I did struggle with. I spent quite a lot of time, spent like 20 minutes trying to, well, especially from 9th to 7th place, I've struggled with massively. So, I've put 11th place for Leeds because they have had, apart from Chelsea, maybe one of the best transfer windows for them as well. Because as a club, for them, they're not the biggest club, but for them, it's a very, very good transfer window. So their biggest signing coming in, Rodrigo Moreno from Valencia, who's a striker. What a player he is! He's a very, very good player, and for them to get him, I believe, I'm not sure if it was on a free or if it was, paid. Let's have a look. It doesn't actually say whether it was on a loan or not, but that is a very, very good signing, and this is why I've put them above West Brom, Fulham, who have come up, and Leeds. They won the league last year. They didn't just come in second or come in at the playoffs. They won the league by 10 points, which is quite a lot. So they're a decent team overall. Also watched the Leeds United thing. Was it on Amazon Prime or Netflix? One or the other. So yeah, they do deserve to be in the Premier League, to be honest, after all the heartbreak they've had. And I think 11th place. I think they will manage between 11th and 13th place. That's where I'm guessing, but I'm gonna put them at 11th. So for 10th, I've got Sheffield United. What a season they had last year. Very, very good. They did in fact finish 9th last year, but with a loss of, I'm pretty sure they've lost. I'm not sure if Dean Henderson has left them, gone back to United. I'm not sure, but what a team they had last year, the way they played, and if they can do anything of the sorts of what they did last year, I believe 10th place, that's a solid finish for them. I don't see them going any higher, so if they do finish differently, I think it will be less, and it could be quite a lot less. I could have had this very wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a shocker of a season and finished, 16th, 15th sort of thing. But again, I think as long as they stay up, they really don't mind, because being in the Prem for them is just amazing. So in 9th place, this is very, very controversial. I've put Leicester. The lack of signings they've done this year, they've got Timothy Catania, I think I've said that wrong, but anyway, from Atalanta. They have lost Ben Chilwell as well, and they finished 5th last year. They did very well last year, but at the end of the season they started to drop off, and I feel like they're going to start the season the same way with, how they did, dropping off massively. They were literally in 2nd place at one point. So, yeah, I don't see Leicester doing very well. If Jamie Vardy does go on an absolute mad spree of scoring goals, then maybe they can recover. But, yeah, I don't know. I've got this feeling, in my back of my brain that I feel like Leicester, they're not going to do as well this year. 8th place, I've got Everton. I kind of wanted to put these higher, but I just couldn't because of the teams that are in front of them. They've brought in Allen. They've brought in Nkunku from Marseille. The Allen signing is a very, very good signing. They were also rumoured to bring in Decore and James Rodriguez apparently on the way. If they bring those players in, then they might finish a lot higher. But, at the time of recording, they've only brought in Allen. They've lost quite a few players. They've got rid of Niasse, Morgan Schneiderlin, Leighton Baines. Quite a few, experienced players have been lost from that changing room. So I think 8th place for Everton is very, very good. Considering they finished, 12th place last year, I think they'd taken 8th place, honestly. So in 7th place, I do have Wolves. Wolves, what can I say? They are one of the best teams in the Premier League. They are very, very, very good. They've brought in Fabio Silva from Porto, which I believe is their record signing. Fernando Marcel from Lyon, who is a very good defender, and they've brought in Maciej Sarkic from Aston Villa, who I don't know who that is. But Wolves, what can we say? That if Mr. Reliable was a team, it would be Wolves. Over the past few seasons, they've just, I think it's the last 2 seasons, they've just dominated and finished very, very high for them, and they consistently get points against the big teams. I think they're one of the best teams against the top 6 teams. So with them, with that record, I expect them to do very well, and that's why I put them in 7th. I'm not going to put them in the Champions League place because I don't think they're up to that place yet. They also have lost Matt Doherty to Spurs, which could be a big loss, but I don't know. They'll probably have some players to fill in there as well. So on to the top 6 now. I'm going to showing you next this 6th place and 5th place. So then you'll be able to guess the top 4. This is probably the place where I'm going to get the most, not hate, but I don't know what to say it, but how can we say this? This is where an argument would probably spring out in this, where I've put these 2 clubs. So as you can see, in 6th place we have Tottenham, 5th place Manchester United. All the United fans that are watching this will probably think I'm an absolute loony, but I just don't see them doing very well unless they sign Jadon Sancho. And in my opinion, I don't think it will happen. Hasn't happened yet. They've got a month left, so they still could happen. But I feel like once Jadon Sancho started in the Bundesliga, I'm not sure when it does start, but I believe it is before the end of the transfer window. I don't think he's going to want to leave, so I don't see him coming. Tottenham, they did awful last year, didn't they? They finished 6th last year. So I've 6th again. I think that's all right. Mourinho's first proper season this season. They didn't do very well last year. They started off awful with Pochettino. Then they obviously got rid of him, didn't they? But yeah, they've done quite a few signings. They've done Højbjerg, Doherty, that just to name a few. They're looking good, but they could either finish where I put them now or in the top 4. It was very hard for me, and I put him 6th place is where I put him. That's where I feel they will finish. Manchester United though, if they get a few injuries, they're gone. They're over. That's the thing with Manchester United. They've got no squad depth, really, if I'm honest. If Luke Shaw's out injured, they've got no left back. They have to play, Brandon Williams there, and he's not a very great player, not a left back anyway. They've let Taith Chong go. He's gone to Werder Bremen. Obviously, he doesn't play anyway, but they haven't really got rid. They got rid of Alexis Sanchez, but they haven't really got rid of anyone major, especially the people I think they should have released. You've got the likes of Phil Jones, who doesn't need to be there. You've got Ander Pereira. I'm not sure if he actually plays, but you've got Dalot. They've got quite a lot of people that they could, get a lot of money back from the wages if they got rid of them, but they just don't seem to do that. They have brought in Donny van der Beek, who's a very, very good signing, but I just don't see him and Bruno, I don't see them, bringing them to the top 4. I just don't see it happening. Again, I could be incredibly wrong, but that's just my opinion. So, on to 4th place and 3rd place. I'm not going to ruin top 2. Well, obviously you know who it is, but I'm not going to say yet who I believe is going to win the league. So in 4th, we have Arsenal. They played, to be honest, at the end of last season and the start of this season, so like pre-season, they beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, I think it was, FA Cup final. They've beat Liverpool in the Community Shield. They've done quite a few signings as well. They've just sort of finished off loans and brought them actually in. So they've brought in Dani Ceballos. He's still on loan. Cedric Suarez, they've bought him now. They've also got Willian on a free, which I think is a great transfer. Willian is a very, very top player. He's been in the Prem for a while, so he knows, he's experienced, very experienced. They've also brought in Pablo Mari from Flamengo. I believe he's a centre-back. I'm not totally sure. Also, Gabriel, who I know is a centre-back from Lille. So their team is just looking a lot stronger. They've definitely got more squad depth. And the way they've been playing recently, especially with Aubameyang, if he signs that contract, I'm not sure if he has yet. He might have, he might not have. I'm not totally sure. But if he signs that contract, I believe Arsenal will do very well this year. I think they would take a 4th place. Champions League, they obviously Arsenal do well in the FA Cups and stuff, so they might do well in that again this year. So yeah, they're also 4th place for me. That's where I'm going to put them. Now for 3rd place, I'm going to put Chelsea. Chelsea, Jesus Christ. It's like they're playing career mode. Here are their signings. So they've done 6 signings, which all consist of Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Ben Chilwell, Malang Sarr, Thiago Silva, and Kai Havertz. Every single one of those players I would take at Liverpool. I mean, what a transfer window. Especially with Frank Lampard, how he did last year. Chelsea finished 4th, and that was without buying a single player, with a load of academy players. So Frank Lampard does know how to get the best out of players, and I believe if these people can gel, if these players can gel together as a team, they could even finish higher than 3rd. They could win the league, but I'm not gonna put them winning the league because I don't think they will. But it's just a could. It's a big could. Yeah, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, great players they've got in there. And will just improve their team massively because they didn't really have a striker last year. They were dependent on Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, who aren't the best strikers. Giroud's okay, but he's not an out-and-out striker, I don't think. He just holds the ball up. That's pretty much all he can do. Timo Werner, on the other hand, what a striker he is. I'd love to have him at Liverpool. We were linked, but we never got him. So, yeah, that is my top 4 and 3 predictions. Now I'm going to reveal to you who I think will win the league. So here it is. My team, Liverpool. You could say I'm being biased here, but I just think if we get even to the slightest how we were playing, if we get near how we were playing last year, we will win it. City, they're on the back of losing the Champions League to Lyon, who, let's be real, aren't the greatest team in the world. City have done a few signings. They have, tried to make their defence a little stronger. They've brought in Nathan Ake. They've brought in Pablo Moreno from Juventus. Ferran Torres from Valencia as well. I just don't think City gel. I don't know if that sounds right, but they've got a lot of individuals in that team, and I just don't think that a lot of them get on with it. Not get on, but they just don't play well with each other. I don't know how to describe it. That team should be winning everything. The amount of money they've spent, the players that are in there, they just should be winning so much more than they do, and they just don't. I don't know what goes on in there. They've also lost David Silva as well, and Leroy Sané, which is a very big loss, I reckon. I think he should be playing for. I think he should have played for them, started, but he didn't. So yeah, Manchester City, and I still think their defense is shaky. Yes, Nathan Ake's in here now, but I just don't rate them at the back. I thought I've watched them quite a few times, and they're very poor. Like the chances they gave away against Lyon, you shouldn't happen with a team that good. But while saying this, the top 2, I think these guys, Liverpool and City will definitely be the top 2. Liverpool could win the league, City could win the league. I'm going for Liverpool, but I wouldn't be surprised if City won it. Liverpool came second. I just believe that this will be the top 2. So yeah, Liverpool coming in first. My team, they've brought in only one signing so far. Tsimikas Kostani, I don't know how you say it, from Olympiacos. Basically a squad player, left back to fill in if Andy Roberts gets injured. We definitely need to get rid of Wijnaldum, get him out, get some funds in the club, because we're clearly not willing to spend on Thiago, but we need to get him because I think he'll drastically change the squad going forward. I think everything Wijnaldum's done for the club is brilliant, all that stuff, but it's just time to move on. I don't personally rate him. If you watch him week in, week out, the balls he gives away, the chances he misses, I just think Thiago he's a completely different player. On the ball, he's just fantastic. He just knows how to play, and especially he's been in the Bayern team that won the Champions League. So what else can I say about him? He's brilliant, and I just think if we can get him in, we will definitely win the league. So, yeah, they were my predictions. The top 20, I've got top 4, I've got Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. And to get relegated, I've got Aston Villa, Fulham and West Brom. Obviously, I could be incredibly wrong with all of these, but these are who I've gone with after, a bit of consideration. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you do smash the like button and subscribe. This video is quite long because I've got to go through every single individual team, so has taken quite a long time to make. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, comment below as well. Join my Discord server, which will be in the description to be featured in more videos like this. well, not like this, but in more FIFA videos, shall I say. Turn on notifications as well, because with FIFA 21 around the corner, I've got plenty of content planned for the game, and I'm going to bring in loads and loads of videos out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.